Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video I don't even know what's going to happen. But first jobs first anyway, as I was in the shed with Father Phil there looking at the 4-wheel drive pack in the 1395. But first job I have to do is the goats broke out on us yesterday out of the pumpkin patch, so Liv wants me to bring them back out because we spent a good bit of, I should have brought the gear. Damn it, go back and get the gear now. But we had to re-fence their pennon and hopefully they'll stay there now. So yeah, we'll go get the goats and put them out. So here we have the escapees. You hear the pigs there too. So all our female goats are in here. So the 4 nannies and three kids, so 7, and then the 2 boys and Buck are up there, Gizmo and others. Come on, go in. Come on, in. One go. Oh, one go hunt loose. Lovely. Come on, Ginger. Turn around. Come on. Here you go. So the commotion in the piggery is Brucey here and Betty. Betty's visiting her boyfriend. So I brought her back in from the pumpkin patch because she was in heat. And then in this pen up here, we have Gizmo. Smelly boy, aren't you, Gizmo? For anyone who doesn't know, buck goats piss on their head, so they smell quite strong. Now we have the 2 other boys here, they're both castrated. But they're staying in. So Ginger and their mother was out with Gizmo outside, and then the girls were all in a separate paddock outside that we do actually have sheep fenced. It's part of the land that I bought down the bottoms. It's sheep fenced, so we kept them separate once they were about 3 months old to stop Gizmo getting giddy with his daughters. Gizmo getting jizzy with his daughters. Ginger, oh there's Liv. Ginger and the other goat I can't remember. There's Ginger, Grace, Gertrude, the other one called? Begins with G anyways. Don't ask me what it is because I cannot think about it. But anyways, 2 of them should be in kid and should be kidding around Christmas, December time. And the other 2 haven't been with Gizmo, so they won't be in kid, but we won't be putting them in kid until around Christmas time so that we have young kids for the sunflower patch next year. That's the plan. That's the grand scheme with the goats. And I don't know what they're going to do with the 4, 6, 5 kids from this year. Whether she's going to sell them or what she wants to do. Anyways, that's Liv's choice. If you want to buy some boar goats, give us a shout, because there's 4 of them there. Anyways, we'll go out here and we'll drop off this load of goats out into the top paddock up above Bertha. So just a little bit on the pumpkin patch. So we're coming into our last weekend and couple of days. It's gone really well. The only disappointing thing we have is goats have already broken out. So anyways, as I was trying to say, what's on that side so we can keep an eye on them through the camera. The pumpkin crop this year is quite poor. Just for context, the field that we're in here now is about 3 acres with the sunflowers in it. Last year we had the pumpkins in this. On 3 acres we 7,600 pumpkins, but this year on 6 acres, it's twice the acres this year, we have 1,500 less pumpkins. And our varieties of pumpkins, especially our weirder ones, didn't produce any pumpkins, and our quantity of orange pumpkins is quite low. Because of the cold summer, they didn't ripen, So we have a lot of green or greeny orange pumpkins out there, very few orange pumpkins, especially now we're heading into the last weekend. And we have plenty of white pumpkins. For whatever reason, the white pumpkins must prefer colder weather because they run very well. So we have lots of white pumpkins, but not too many orange pumpkins. And when you spread the amount across 6 acres, it can look a little bit sparse. So it's a bit annoying. We're going to have to rearrange pumpkins probably tomorrow when we have the neighbours come down to give us a hand after school. So it is frustrating, but there really is nothing we can do about it. It's just the hand we're dealt. And other than that, pumpkins are going fierce well. Just the crop of them this year. Gertrude! Gertrude is the friendliest of them all. That's Liv's original goat. They're all coming back over now. So we'll just test the fence. If the bloody camera ever looks where you want it to. No, not up, down. It's quite windy. So we're getting 4,000 there in the fence. It's not great, and I have a 160 brand new battery in it, but it's powering 2 lines of tape. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But anyways, that's the crack. There's not really much out there, so they're on hay, water and meal. They have everything that was there kind of cleared off. It was a bit of grass and lots of sunflowers. They quite like the sunflowers, so they do. Anyways, we'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they don't break out. We had calves out there as well, and the calves gave us awful grief breaking out, so we had to put them in. Whether we put calves back to it now, if we can keep them there or not, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Anyways, we'll move on. Next on my list is probably a cup of coffee with Liv, and then I want to go sort out heifers. Now I let them out of the shed, dose them and clip them. And yeah, really and truly, this time of the year we were at done yesterday. Probably should have filmed that for a customer, but now it's just like flootering about the yard, bits of tidying, washing, putting stuff away, and getting cattle work done when the weather is dry. Just playing football with the trough, just tossing around the place. But as you may tell, the goats have disappeared. The goats are out in the sunflowers. They love eating the sunflowers. So I am going to go get steel wire and put it on the bottom strand and see will that make a difference. Because currently all they're doing is just getting on their back, walking through it, not getting any sign of a shock. So maybe it's the tape is power in it, but maybe it's just the way the tape is, conducts or whatever. So I'm going to try steel wire. See, does that work? If that doesn't work, I know what to do. Also, there's a school group up here picking pumpkins at the minute, that's why the juice is out. I'm going to get ready to let the heifers out now, close up the yard, and so going to let them out, clip them and dust them. So everything doesn't get dusted. They're about 2 weeks in the shed to make sure that their worm or the eggs that's in them hatch, so that the dust works. So some dusts don't kill immature or eggs, so you need to do it. We were at calves yesterday. First batch of calves went in yesterday. That's why the yard is dirty. So anyways, we get shut up, we stick it onto time lapse, and then we get the heifers in. Put up steel wire to keep the goats out. And while I was with Liv there for the last 20 minutes, they didn't go near the fence. So hopefully that's a sign that I have won that battle. But we'll find out later. So just looking at the pile of beet, we're getting very low on beet. And it's dry today, but the weekend is coming quite wet. We'll wait and see. Anyways, I get these yards shut up and we'll go at these. Also, out the geese behind the buyer door there. And then wander around the yard for the day. Out and gander away there, boys. And that is the heifers done. It's taking me a bit of time. So enough our job clipping and those. But the heifers are done now. So I'm left with 2 pens of bulls to do tomorrow, to be clipped and dosed. And a pen of Waylands that we put in a couple of days ago. They have to be done. But they'll have to wait 2 weeks-ish, and then we'll do them. It's just about making sure we get the thing. Father Phil is just feeding, so just waiting on him to go back to diet feeder, let the girls, and we'll just ride them there. So I'm just getting in the telly, getting a bale of straw to go bedding. That's kind of the next job. And yes, this squeaky seat, like I've taken the cover up. I'll show you when I go out. Cover up, everything is oil and greased in there, and there's a can of WD-40 under the seat, and no amount of it will take the squeaking out of the seat. Michael had looked up before he left. He thinks it could be there's like bushings in the front of it aren't spinning, they're stuck, and that's what's causing the squeak. But yeah, it's a pain in the ass, and I can imagine it's quite bad to listen to on the camera. Anyways, I navigate myself up here, get myself a bit of straw. I can get a bit of straw. It is getting a bit tight. So that bale that's just straight in front of me, that's one of our chop bales. So that's for feeding to the cattle. So we chopped a lot of bales. They have the easy web, Tama's easy web on them, so I know which ones they are. And the rest then are for bedding. So take this bale out. We'll have it now, put in a straw blower in 2725 and we'll get it shook into them. So that's kind of the crack. Yeah. So that's really all that's going on at the minute. Is bit this, bit that, nothing too wild or exciting. So I have to be with the butcher for 5 o'clock to pick up fresh beef for the pumpkin patch, and that's kind of my last job of today. And then into the workshop when I get that sorted for Liv. Liv will give me a hand when she's finished the pumpkins, but I just have to be with the butcher before 5 o'clock. So I've not quite 2 hours, about an hour and 15 minutes left in the yard, and then I have to head on. So yeah, it's taken me about 3 hours to do the heifers. It's slow enough. Dinner was in the middle of it too. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But get these heifers in. I said I'd show you the peacocks are starting to get their tail feathers again. So they lose them big flush of feathers at the end of every mating season, and they grow them back every year, bigger and better than the last. And they're starting to grow them back. I'm not sure when breeding or laying season is. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. Liv has found 2 nests at the back of the greenhouse, so kind of half expecting to find eggs there at some stage. I would imagine it is way too late or too early too late for that, unless it's the mild weather has them confused. It's very mild today. It was forecast to be about 17 degrees. Unlike the second last week of October. Mad. We'll put in the feeder with the heifers in, bed the cattle, and then I'm heading off a big Father Phil is going off over to the house. Mother wants pallets and stuff moved. Yeah, that's literally all that's going on. He was most of this week away rolling grain, milling, crushing grain for customers. I think he's one more job to do for up Cavan direction, and then I think that could be it. Just a good bit to do then for a while, a lot to do for ourselves, and then possibly another couple of bits for customers where you roll 15 or 20 ton at a time. We are on probably the last load of beef here, so next week now we're going to have to look at going and getting more pull. We're using about 600 kilos a day at the minute, and that's only going to go up, especially as we get more cattle in. We reckon we should have enough beef to justify feeding the calves about 1.5 kilos or 2 kilos a day, just for extra energy, fat in the back, make them grow better. So we're probably going to do that, and then cut back the amount of barley. Rather than feeding them 2 kilos of barley, which we've done last year, feed them 1 kilo of barley, because we're pretty confident we should have lots of beef. And the silage pit is going back. It's hard to know how it's going back compared to other years. Usually we walk in from the front, but because of turkey and all that, we had to eat this bit and then we start eating it crossways. It's hard to know. We usually go by the pillars on the wall, by the 1st of November, 1st of December, how far we're on, so it's quite hard to know at the minute. Just tidy up these wires for moving cattle, and yeah, keep at it. We're cracking in with the load of fodder. Going into some more. Please and thank you. Again, the position. It's a hard shed to get squared up to, so you can't drive through it. Yeah, you can drive through it if there was nothing in it, but the threshing mill is still there. Here we have beside us first of the Waylands in. So that's the first batch of them in. And the heifers are just above them there, so they're the finishing heifers. So they're the ones for staying in and feeding. and then they're the first batch of calves. We're still waiting on the stats to go on to the tank, but I think they're coming tomorrow to get that finished. When they get that finished, then we'll start putting in more batches of calves, and then when we dose them, we'll sort them into weights. We just had to put in the batch. They were the ones on the bottoms. The grass was all gone. There was nothing left for them down the bottom, so it was time to go in. So they've gone into it. Still very happy and content there. There's a bit on the mild side. That's the one thing not too keen on, and the debate was whether you try and feed them, buffer feed them outside because of how mild it is. Usually putting cattle in the mild weather isn't the best idea, especially when you're in low sheds like what we have. But so far, touch wood, it's alright. But the ground conditions are quite bad down the bottom. They're not great now, and if we did start buffer feeding the calves outside, we wouldn't be long plowing up a paddock into bits. So we just reckoned it was better put them in, keep the ground dry, and there'll be grass there in the springtime for them to go out onto, rather than ploughing it and having nothing until April time next year. So that's the crack. We get this in, we'll go bed everyone. We get these girls clean sheets. And that is the straw blowing done. So we're currently trying to figure out where to go with all this. So 4 vintage tractors, 3690 Thrasher, the 1200 at the back belongs to one of the men that was up at the 1200 working day, and the 2 combines. The original plan was that the shop shed would be up and we'd have rejiggled that over to the shed, the good combines into the shop and all that. That hasn't happened. Because we have the new shed, I am kind of hoping I might be able to keep the very last bay here, that I can just really stack them machines in there, move some of the tractors out to the other places, canopies and stuff, and fit them in, just to keep them out of the way. But yeah, it's not too bad at the minute. When I get slatted sheds finished up on the new farm, that basically solves issues to all the calves outside of grass where the boys will put in. So you're happy out, aren't you, boys? They'll be coming out there in maybe they're in a couple of days now, so another week. I'd say just before we go on holidays, we'll take them out. They are clipped. We'll dose them, so for fluke and worms, and we'll also give them a copper injection to build boost the copper in them, and then sort them into weights along with the other shed. The heifers are now done. I'll show you the bulls. Them bulls to do tomorrow. So yeah, what it feels like at the minute is just kind of, I feel like I'm just loitering around the place. I have work to do, don't get me wrong. We're in the yard 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it's 9:30, 10 o'clock before we leave the workshop, so we're doing 12-hour days there every day. But I don't feel busy. I'm just ticking boxes, just ticking everything off the list. Me and Liv are going on holidays in 2 weeks' time, just making sure that all the finishing cattle are dosed and clipped. All I have to do is the bulls in that shed, and that all the calves are in. Possibly one batch won't be in because they have lots of grass, but that's kind of where we're at, just loitering about the yard. So these boys here on the stats are heavy guys. So these guys I had out the other day. I wanted to just weigh them, see how the progress was coming on them, and yeah, very, very happy. Averaging 1.4 kilos a day on what's in the shed there. The highest was 1.86. Lowest was around just under a kilo a day, but the average was 1.4 kilos a day, which I'm super happy about, because they are just on barley beans, beet and third cut silage. So this is what it looks like. So that's what they're on. But they are doing really, really well. At 1.4 kilos a day, I'm very, 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 very happy. Especially when we're not even started maize. Probably not going to bother buying maize meal because of just how well they're doing. That daily weigh-in is just for what we do and for not having our maize silage being fed to them. I'm very happy for that on a warm up ration. They're still not on full tilt on what they should be getting on beet or barley and beans. They're still on the wind up to it, but by next week they'll be on full barley and beans, and then 2 weeks after that then we should have the maize cut and they should be on it. Makes it quite hard to keep content coming when this is what we're really at a daily basis at the minute. I have, because we're on the last bit of beet, probably got that the next day. Customer wants beet pulled the first week of November. Apart from that, there's nothing too exciting happening. We'll see how Liv is getting on. How's the pumpkin lady? Busy?
Everyone's gone now.
Everyone's gone.
Well, family looking for 4.
So 1 family for 4. Okay. So just at this particular, during the week, we're on small numbers of bookings. Weekends are manic, but during the week, not too bad. Just school bookings and few families who come in the evening. So going okay? Happy enough? What's behave?
No, they were in the sunflowers again, but I got some meal and they came back.
Oh. Are they getting a shock off the fence?
I think one of them might have been because 2 wouldn't come back straight away.
Right, so
Stood at the fence.
have we won that battle, or are we going to have to shut them in tonight?
I might shut them in the brute pouch tonight.
Have fun.
Why?
Well, it'd be a job to get them in, I think.
No, it won't pay a meal, they'll go in.
Okay. So yeah, it's probably no harm. It's just what happened yesterday morning. It was yesterday morning, wasn't it? Or was it the day before?
Maybe
Day before, maybe.
I don't know.
Anyways, what happened was, neighbour called us. Goats were on the road, so
Quite a way down the road.
quite a way down the road, and the neighbour had them put into his yard and in a pen. Was grand. So we got up, got the trailer, headed on down for them, and once we got there, it was they had got away in the farmer because they'd run under the gates in his pen, and they were headed on down the road again, and they were just an absolute bit of a nightmare. Usually they come to a bucket of meal, but just the run they got, they just would not come to meal. We eventually got them gathered up and brought back, but anyways, that's the crack. I got a coffee. Okay. So, bro is on the job, back from college, cleaning.
Cleaning up your mess.
It's not my mess.
Excuse me. That box is yours. That box is yours. Half of that shit's yours.
Ah, no, that's Liv's mess. It's not my mess.
Your wife. Your mess.
It's part of your mess too. So anyways,
5 boxes were mine.
they're going with recycling. So I am heading off now to go get some beef, and then label beef and give Liv a hand, and then workshop, and that's it for today. So anyways, look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If any comments or anything like that, as always, please hit me in the comments down below, and as always, please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. That's it from me. Good luck.